So I have a 2-year-old. He will actually be 2 on the 29th of this month. He loves to play, as every child or any child would, especially a boy. Boys are all about, doing the sort of macho things and playing around, jumping. One of his favorite plays, at least between us, one of the things that we do is that he gets on my legs, and so he sort of loves to get on them as I lift my legs and lift him up, and lift him up, and he just grins from ear to ear. He loves it. Sometimes you just go off laughing. He enjoys it. But if you are a parent, or you have been a parent, or you have been with children before, after a while you get tired. You get tired of lifting things or lifting children, and so when we play, I'll stop because I'm just tired. And we know what kids say when that happens. They say, "Do it again, do it again," and he loves saying that. "Do it again, Daddy. Do it again." I'll go, "No, I'm tired. Do it again." The prophet Habakkuk is one that I love because I think his situation speaks to our time. Here's a prophet that basically just had to call out to the Lord in complaint. He begins his oracle really with a complaint. You sort of rarely see that, especially with prophets. Usually we start off by being told this is the man, that the Lord has chosen and who he is. But then Habakkuk just sort of starts off with a complaint to the Lord. "Lord, there is violence everywhere," he says. "Violence on the streets, violence in our homes. Basically, do something. Do something." And then God responds, not with a kind of response that Habakkuk would have loved, or any one of us would have loved. But he said to him, "Habakkuk, I'm going to take care of it. And this is how I will do it. I will send the Babylonians, the Chaldeans will come, and they will be an instrument in my hand to punish Judah for their sins." Well, that didn't sit well with Habakkuk. And he said, one more thing, Lord. The Chaldeans, really? He makes it a point to basically tell God what the Chaldeans were all about. Ruthless people. Are you really going to use them to punish us? We are more righteous than they are. And God responds to Habakkuk in a very, very kind way, but also very firm way. Tells him, "Habakkuk, if you are concerned about the righteous being involved and being sort of destroyed and taken over, don't worry about it, for the righteous will live by faith." Habakkuk 2:4, a great passage. In fact, a passage that the Apostle Paul loved so much that 3 times, so he mentioned it, the righteous will live by faith. But then it sort of ends there in Habakkuk 2:24 for some. But for me, I love to go onward because there is Habakkuk 3. And some say it is a later addition, and I can see that. But it also continues the interaction between Habakkuk and God. But in this one, it is a little bit different. It's not a complaint, but it is a realization of something. For in the last verse of chapter 2, the Lord says, "I am in my holy temple. Let the whole earth be silent before me." I think perhaps in that moment, Habakkuk realized that he is indeed in the presence of a God that has power over all. So in the next chapter, he begins with praise. And I love verse 2. He basically says, "Lord, I have heard of your fame And then he says this, do it again. Do it again in our time. Do it again in our time. We live in a very difficult time. I told you, in fact, the world over, violence, chaos. We live in a time of Habakkuk, in a way. Struggle, strife, danger, sword, famine, floods, name them. Perhaps when we wake up each day, we also, like Habakkuk, say, there's violence, Lord, everywhere. There's violence, and we complain, and it's normal, certainly. It's normal. The prophetic voices are complaining. Everybody is complaining as well. And certainly as those that have been called by God to stand on behalf of his people, we bear, and we should bear, their burdens and say, violence, Lord, violence, what will you do? Well, the amazing thing about it is that God has promised that he will do it in our day again. That he will restore righteousness in our day. And like my 2-year-old, we want him to do it again. Do again what he did in days past, in years past, in seasons past. He's able to do it again. One of the things I love about just the image of God is that he is eternal. He is in all time and in all places. In fact, the writer of Hebrews speaks of him as the same yesterday, especially speaking about Jesus. The same yesterday, today, and forever. And that is where our comfort is, isn't it? That the same God who did it before will do it again. Habakkuk believed that. He believed that God will bring an end to the chaos, and that he's the only one who can do that. That all we need to do is get on his legs and on his lap and just allow him to keep us. For the righteous will live by the faith of knowing that God is able to keep us from falling. And that he will never stop. He will never quit. He will do it again. He will save our homes again. Save our marriages again. He will save our communities again. He will save our lives again and again and again. For the redemption that he has given through his Son is one that will continue on again and again and again. So with Habakkuk, we say, Lord, do it again. May he do it again in our lives and in our world. And let the world see that is God that we serve, the God of all time and all places, for all people, who loves dearly and is willing and ready to do it again. Amen.